My name is Auma Patricia. I'm an activist from Masindi. And when I talk of Masindi, one of the districts where we actually had confirmed cases of COVID-19. I'm an activist of young people. I advocate for the rights of the girl child in school and the marginalized in the community. This COVID-19 has affected my advocacy work so much. First of all, I work a lot with young people in schools, and that was the first avenue that was cut off. When the schools were cut off, I got cut off from a lot of young people that I work with. Young girls in schools. We do a lot of sensitizations in schools, and a lot of our beneficiaries are in schools. We have lots of success stories from schools, and now, ever since the schools were locked down, we have no idea how these girls are going about. We do not know what is happening with them. Communication is totally cut off, and that has been a very, very big blow. The other thing is misinformation. The other young people that we work with, there are lots of information, of course, coming in from the task force, but there are some people that are in areas where it is not so easy to access information, and so we've been getting calls about a lot of myth and a lot of misinformation about the COVID-19 issue in the district, but also in the country at large. And we had to pass out this information, but still it was so hard to reach our young people in the rural areas with the right information, and this somehow could have exposed them to the risk of contracting COVID-19, but we thank God that we didn't have any other cases from the rural areas. The other issue that we've been having, of course, a lot of young people couldn't access the platforms for advocacy. We do a lot of community reach outs, and we have sessions that we do with the local councils. We know very well that the budgets were passed, and these processes normally start from the sub-counties. We normally facilitate our young people to participate in the budgeting processes. But this time it was so hard for us to mobilize the young people to participate in a very crucial moment where budget was being passed at sub-counties and at district and municipals. Our young people had to be shut out. We tried to mobilize at least 2 per sub-county, but still some sub-counties accepted 1 person to participate, which was still not okay for us, because the voices of young people in the budgets matter a lot. And this time, I'm so sad to say that a lot of their voices were shut out from these budgets, and we just have no idea what is going to happen moving forward with the budgets that were passed, because the young people's views were totally shut out. That has been my biggest issue during this COVID-19 as an activist. But as of course a young women's rights activist also, I have met certain issues in my community. There are lots of young girls who of course are out of school, and now they are getting involved in activities, making money, and they are hawking a lot of items. These young girls are at a very high risk. They are moving without masks, they do not have sanitizers, they are meeting a lot of people, and they move until the late hours, almost towards the curfew time. And I really get saddened by the situation these young girls are operating in. We are trying to get in touch with the local leaders, but it is also so hard because the parents themselves, they say these young people have to help them to make some money to help put food on the table. So it's another issue that is coming up, and we are trying to see how we can work it out to protect these young girls, so that by the time schools open, they are actually able to go back to schools. Sadly, a lot of them have gotten pregnant already. I've witnessed a lot of them, I've seen them hawking stuff while they are pregnant, and for some of them this is the end of education for them. So we're just calling upon all the other partners that are active right now. Can we come up and try to do something for these young girls, the youth out of school? They are getting exposed to other situations that might not allow them to continue with their education after the COVID-19. Otherwise, the situation is not okay, but we're remaining hopeful because we still have the social media and we're having lots of online conversations and online engagements. But still, this is a problem because a lot of young people do not have smartphones, especially in the rural areas. We are leaving them out of a lot of very important conversations, and that is also another challenge that we are facing. We are having conversations going on. Our young people in the rural areas are shut out because they are not exposed to technology and they cannot access these platforms. So In a nutshell, those are some of the challenges we are going through, but we are still strong and in solidarity with our partners and other young people, young activists around the world. And all I can say is that the COVID might be here today, but tomorrow it won't be there. But just because it is here, it doesn't mean that our work should stall. But the struggle continues and we shall win.